Hello, this is John from caveofprogramming.com, and in this tutorial we're going to look at style sheets in Android. So I've got this application here, list demo application, that has these list items in it, and if I look at the XML that styles these list items, it's this XML here, and it's got hard-coded colors in it and text sizes. It's got an Android background color here, and it's got a text color and text size, and it's good practice to take at least the colors and text sizes and fonts and things like that, and possibly also other attributes as well, and put them in a style sheet that can then be applied either to your whole application or to a particular activity, or even to just particular text views. But it's better to take this style information out of your raw XML files, out of your layout views. So I'm going to go ahead and create a style sheet here in which I can put colors and text sizes, and I'll do this now. I'll create this now because it's easier to see it than to hear an explanation of it, and I'll explain a bit more afterwards. So probably you've already got this styles.xml in your values folder, and this is a kind of stub for a style sheet, but I'm going to ignore that and create my own one from scratch actually. And I'm going to let's click off that, and I'm going to right click my values here and go to new Android XML file, and I'll set resource type to values, and the file, let's call it, well, the application is called custom lists. Let's call it custom list styles. So you can have more than one style sheet, or style I should say, because it's not really a sheet, within a single XML file, and you need to make sure that the root element here is going to be resources. And I'll click finish, and then I'll double click my custom list styles. And if you just look at the raw view at the moment, I've got an open and closing resources tag here, but I'm going to go to the user interface view, the Eclipse kind of view of it, and click add here, and I'm going to add a style stroke theme. Actually, a theme is just a style that's applied to an entire activity, but it's actually no different from a style. So now I'll click OK, and I need to give this a name, and since I might choose to apply this to my entire activity, my entire application, at least to start with. So I'll give this a name. I'll just give this a generic name since I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it exactly. I'll call it JWP just because JWP are my initials, or I could just call it actually my style, which makes it clear that I've just made this name up, I think. And I'm not going to specify parent here. I'm just going to click save all here, and if I look at the raw view here, that's just given my style a name. And I'll go back to the resources view, and I'll click add, and I'll add an item. And now an item corresponds to basically anything that you can style a user element with, a view with, or at least if not everything, then a lot of things. So I'm going to take this Android text size, I'm going to copy that, and that's going to become the name of the item in my style, Android : text size. So I'll copy that, and I'll paste this in here, right click and go to paste. And for value, I'm going to go back to my layout again, and I'm going to take this 16 device independent pixels, copy that, and I'm going to paste that in for the value here. So paste it in. Let's just take a quick look actually. Maybe 16 is a bit big, I'm not sure. Let's make it 14 and see how that looks. And then I'll click save all. And if you look at custom list styles.xml, the raw view, now we've got this item in here which styles the text size to 14 device independent pixels. And I could have, for example, I can take this color as well, Android text color here. Let's go back to my style sheet here. Where are we? and not that one, this one, list. Oh, that's an old file actually that I've got open, so I'll close that. Let's go to custom list styles.xml here, go to the resources view and click add, and I'll add another item, and let's set this, the name of this, to Android text color, and let's set the text color to white, so I'll say hash and 1 2 3 4 5 6 Fs, so red, green and blue are all set to FF, which is the maximum possible value, and I'll save that. So we've got text size and text color in here. Now let's just demonstrate that. So initially what I'll do is I'll go to my Android manifest here, and if I scroll up and go to application, let's have a look. So here I've got this theme, and I can set the theme to a style sheet that will style my entire application. So in this case it would set all the text in my application to 14 device independent pixels, that's the size of it, and the color to white. And just to show you that, let's click browse and select my style. That's the name that I gave to my style sheet, and I'm going to go to my list message item here, and I'm going to delete the size and color from my actual items. So let's get rid of, actually I'll leave this for the moment. So if you have a text color or a size in your actual item, it will override anything in the style. So the kind of closer you define your styles to the actual item, then the more they override the earlier ones. But so in this case, if I say color and size is this, it will have this color and size. But if I don't specify any color and size, like here, it will get the color and size from the style sheet. So this one will be styled with my style sheet, and this one will have this text color and this text size. And let's just see how that works. So if I look at my application here, you can see that this text is now being styled with my style sheet, and this still has the specific color and size that I set in the item. Now I probably don't want to, at least in this case, set the text size and color for my entire application. What I'd like to do is set it possibly just for individual text items actually. So if I look here at my style sheet, let's go to my custom list styles. Let's change the name of this to, let's call it title style, something like that. So let's try, title. Well, I could just call it title actually, because it's sort of obviously a style in a way, and I'll save that. So the name of my style now is title, and if I go into my XML that actually styles the items, that actually formats the items in my list, any one of these, like linear layout or image view or text view, they have style attributes where I can set the style sheet. So on my text view here, let's say style and autocomplete, and here I want to set array style. I read that as array, I should say @ style really, and set it to title. So that will style that particular text item. And in my Android manifest here, let's get rid of this, let's set this back to the kind of default app theme, or actually I could just probably get rid of this altogether actually. So let's save that. So I just want it really to have the default theme, the default activity style for my platform for the most part, but I want to override a few elements of the style here. And let's create another one of those. So I'll just copy this actually, because it's going to be easier just to copy this and paste it rather than use the resources view. And I'll change this to subject, and I'll make the text a little bit smaller here, let's say 12, and I'll go back to my list XML layout here, and I'll get rid of the hard-coded colors here, and I'll set this style to @style and the subject style to style this text view. And finally, I also want to change the background here of my linear layout. So let's again go to the style sheet here, custom list styles, and well, here actually I'll use the resources view again, and I'll click add. In fact, I won't do that. What I'll do is I need to add a new actual style. So let's say, I thought that should let me define a style, but it doesn't seem to. I wonder if I can deselect that. Perhaps I can't. Let's click add. Okay, well, oh yeah, I'll click this to filter on styles. Let's try that. And click, I think that filters on the style, display only string elements. So let's try this, display only style theme elements. Click add. Now we've got it. So now let's click on style theme, and I'll say list, let's say list background. That's a good name for style. And save, and I'll add an item to that. And for this item, let's say Android background, and I'll set that to black. So I'll have a hash and 1, 2, 3, 4. No, actually black will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. I'll save that. And let's just take a quick look at the XML. So now we've got this here. This just styles the background of whatever it's applied to. And I'll go to my text layout, my text XML layout again. Get rid of this background here. Type style, and I'll select the list background style. So you could style this. This is going to style basically it's going to set the background of anything within this activity. I think, actually, I'm not completely sure. Well, because the sub items are all transparent anyway, so hopefully this should all look completely black. So let's run this and see what it does look like. So the take-home message here is you can set your styles to particular items, but you can also set them via the manifest to your entire application as well, in which case you call it a theme. And let's look at this, and now everything is nicely styled. I've got the background set to black from my style sheet, and I've styled the color and the size of my text. Okay, so that's the basic introduction to style sheets, and in the next tutorial we're going to look at selectors, and selectors are a way of telling your style sheet to use different colors depending on what actually happens in your application, and that's going to enable us to make these items flash a different color when you click them, which is going to be very nice. So join me again next time. Oh, no, there is actually one more thing that I forgot to say that I should tell you about, which is I didn't give my style a parent here, so I haven't specified a parent, but you'll notice the kind of default auto-generated one here. It does, where are we, styles.xml, it does specify a parent. Now my understanding of this is, if you specify no parent, you would get the default style for your application. It would override that style. So it's as if you have a load of items in here that have been built into Android, different styles, and you are just overriding the particular ones that you want. You're creating your own kind of well, you're overriding the ones that you want for whatever item you set this style for. But now, if you have your application, if you look at your manifest, if this application here, and I'll go to manifest uses SDK, you see I've targeted this for API level 15, but I've said that it runs on 10. And if your target is at least 11, which is I'm forgetting the name for it now, is it Gingerbread? But it's kind of it's Android 3.0, basically. Version 11 will be Android 3.0. So as long as this is at least 11, what's going to happen is that if you don't specify a parent for your style, then it's going to use the Hollow theme when it runs on Android version 11 or greater, and it will use the previous theme, which I think is called Light or something like that. It's this theme, I think, when it runs on the kind of older version, an older version of Android. For example, let's go back to Manifest. If it runs on Android version 10, the parent will be the kind of Light theme, I believe. So in a nutshell, I think it's probably best not to specify a parent for your style, but just make sure that you set the target SDK version, because that determines whether you'll pick up the latest parent theme by default. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial, and until next time, happy coding.